Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Gauranga, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Oh, thank you. Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Ga. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, SriSriRadhaRasbihariTemple Shaka ji ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Shri Sitaram Lakshman ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to the Prabhupada and Gauranga. He कौन सा चैप्टर चैप्टर कौन सा हाँ 81 हाँ 17 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10. What is the title of this canto? 10th canto, Sammam Bonam, Chapter 81, Lord blesses Sudama Brahmana, text 17 onwards. Text 17. Nivasitaha Priya Jushte Paryake Brataro Yata Mahishya Vijitaha Shranto Bala Vyajana Hastaya Bala Vyajana Hastaya Nivasita Priya Jushte Nivasita Priya Jushte Paryanke Brataro Yata Paryanke Brataro Yata Mahishya Vijita Shranto Bala Vyanjana Hastaya What is this? Nivasitaha Priyo Jushte Paryanke Brataro Yata Mahishya Vijita Shanto Bala Vyajana Hastaya Nivasitaha Priya Jushte Paryanke Brataro Yata Mahishya Vijita Shanto Bala Vyajana Hastaya. Sita Priya Jushte Mothers, Paryanke Brataro Yata Mahishya Vijita Shranto Bala Vyajana Hastaya Nivasitaha seated Priya by his beloved Jushte used Paryanke bed Brataraha brothers Yata, just as Mahishaya, by his queen, Vijitaha, fanned, Shanta, tired, Bala, of yak tail, hair, Vyajana, Vyajana, a fan, Hastaya, in whose hand. Translation: He treated me just like one of his brothers, making me sit on the bed of his beloved consort. And because I was fatigued, his queen personally fanned me with a yak-tail charmer. Please repeat. He treated me just like one of his brothers, making me sit on the bed of his beloved consort. And because I was fatigued, his queen personally fanned me with a yak-tail charmer. Continue to read a few more verses. Text 18. Although he is the Lord of all demigods and the object of worship for all Brahmanas, he worshipped me as if I were a demigod myself, massaging my feet and rendering other humble services. Devotional service to his lotus feet is the root cause of all the perfection a person can find in heaven, in liberation, in the subterraneous regions and on earth. Thinking, if this poor wretch suddenly becomes rich, he will forget me in his intoxicating happiness. The compassionate Lord did not grant me even a little wealth. Purport: Sudama's statement that Lord Krishna bestowed on him not even a little wealth may also be taken to mean that instead of giving him wealth that was aburi, all slight, the Lord in fact gave him immense measure of his treasure of his association. This alternate meaning has been suggested by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desetarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So there is up to what time the class ends early or any because of the marathon? 10. So, the Sudama pastime is coming to a nice climax conclusion. Because Sudama is returning to his house and he was so ecstatic seeing the Lord, he completely forgot what his wife had asked him to ask. And so when coming back, he was thinking, oh my God, I forgot to ask even the Lord for something. Now I go back, my wife is going to be very disappointed. And the Lord also did not ask me, because although he is very, very, well, he is the owner of everything. And maybe because the Lord thought that if I give him something, then he will forget me. Therefore, it's also very good. Aisa Sochke was coming. The Chaitanya Charitamrita also, it is said, Krishna is thinking. The jiva is looking for material enjoyment and he is a murk because he doesn't know this is not in his interest. Ami Gyani, but I know I'm not a murk like the Jiva. Keno dive Vishaya. So why should I give him material enjoyment? So in this way, Krishna is thinking even for all the conditioned souls, not only his devotees in the material world. So that is the clue that in the olden days, that was only meant for Sudama, that thought. Because in the material world, everybody wants everything and Krishna gives. Yoko Bhagnam Yo Vidadati Kaman. But now, by Chaitanya Charitamrita, for everybody Krishna thinks like that. Normally Krishna doesn't think like that. So since Lord Chaitanya has said, this is how Krishna thinks, so we can see that we have all been elevated to the platform of being a devotee, because only for devotees Krishna says, I think like that. नहीं चाहिए तो ये है बस carpet is there. So Krishna is thinking like that. In the 10th canto also Krishna says that whomever I favor, Harishye Dhanam Sanai Sanai, for him I take everything away. The very extraordinary mercy of the Lord, which as a conditioned soul, I don't appreciate. So normally, Krishna does not interfere in the tiny free will of the jiva, because the jiva is also experiencing and relishing Krishna only in various forms. People are drinking coffee, tea, whiskey. Krishna says, everything is me. So nobody can actually exist without relishing Krishna. One disciple of Srila Prabhupada in a morning walk asked him that, my father is a drunkard. Prabhupada said, he's alcoholic. Prabhupada said, what does that mean? He said, because as soon as he wakes up, he has to drink whiskey, and he'll keep on drinking whiskey till he goes to sleep in the evening, night. He's a drunkard, he's alcoholic. So how can I make him Krishna conscious? Prabhupada said, you tell him that the intoxication he gets when he drinks whiskey, that is Krishna. You tell him that. Because once he says that, he can never forget Krishna. So that is Acharya. Sometimes after reading Prabhupada's books, we may also get a little bit of ideas about preaching. Only yesterday I was reading, Prabhupada said that, the real essence is actually love of Krishna. We are not interested in criticizing politics and this and that, but that will follow automatically. If you are presenting love of Krishna, then other things will also. So anyway, Prabhupada is a great Acharya. He knows for everybody how to present Krishna consciousness. So Krishna also says that I take away everything that's very rare. So Sudama was also thinking, because he's a devotee, this is very good. A non-devotee thinks it's not good. I remember in South India, they say, oh, you should not worship Krishna. Why? Because he has got a flute, and by that flute he will blow, and he will blow everything away. You will not have anything. I remember when I was a child, I remember hearing that like that, So they are worried that if I go to Krishna, everything will go away. The conditioned soul's position is very, very, very difficult to understand. I am a conditioned soul, so I cannot claim that, I understand. By Prabhupada's mercy, we are preaching. Prabhupada said that, sometimes when there is a war, there is not enough doctors. Then they will take first year students of MBBS and they will teach them main things that happen in the battlefield. How to put a fracture, how to painkillers, how to give painkillers, how if sharpnel is there, how to remove. Basic things they'll teach. And then they'll say, now you go as doctor, medical assistants. They're not doctors, but they are sent as doctors because there's shortage. So he said, we are all like that, Prabhupada said. We are preachers, not because we know we preach, but basic things have been taught, and we have to go and preach, because it's emergency. So you can see Srila Prabhupada's books, the same things he will be quoting again and again and again. And by reading, we have also understood. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sarvam vraja. What is that? Next one. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshaya syami ma suchaha. Eko bhagnamyo vidadati kaman. Isn't it? We know all these standard verses. And then, but people don't know. So about 60, 70 easily verses you can memorize when you read Prabhupada's books automatically. And when you go and preach and when you speak, that people think, oh, sadhu. Yeah, of course, devotees are sadhus, there's no doubt about it, that Krishna has given. That's it. But Prabhupada has set up everything like that. By reading his books, automatically, not only we will know, but we will also preach. Prabhupada said that in the introduction to Bhagavatam, that by studying this Bhagavatam, not only can one become convinced of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he can also convince others on a concrete basis. He's written that in the introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam. So, it is a very, very special movement. Yesterday only I was saying that our parampara is a very special parampara. It's Vaishnava parampara, but it's very special. Because this 32 acharyas that Prabhupada has listed in that book, Bhagavad-gita as it is, that is made by who? Who made that list first? Do you know? It is made by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He wrote that Chaturmukha Brahma song. From that this parampara list comes. So, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has put that parampara list to say this is paving the way for Prabhupada. Just like Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that all scriptures in Kali Yuga, they are actually to introduce Lord Chaitanya. Similarly, everything about the Guru is actually to present Srila Prabhupada. So Lokanath Acharya has written, Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. That whole song is written for Prabhupada. Vedega Yahara Charito. The Vedas are actually singing his glories. Isn't it? So this is parampara. It is special, the Vaishnava parampara. Because in this parampara, everybody is there to facilitate Lord Chaitanya's presentation of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Vaishnava word comes from Vishnu. Vaishnava word comes from Vishnu, Vaishnav. You see? One who belongs to Vishnu is called Vaishnava. But Gaudiya Vaishnava is for Adi Vishnu, Krishna. So Brahmaji is our Acharya. Why? Why is Brahma mentioned as Acharya? Because he wrote Brahma Samhita. And in Brahma Samhita, Krishna is established as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why he is actually, not merely because he has heard from
Krishna, of course, he realized Brahma Samhita first, before creation. So I gave this Brahma Samhita to one music composer in South India a long time ago. I told him, you said this to music. He didn't do it. Anyway, he asked me, what is this book? I said, this book is older than Vedas. Oh, it's older than Vedas? I said, yeah, because it was written or spoken before Vedas. Of course, Vedas is eternal. Vedas is in the previous creation also, and in the previous creation it goes, that's okay. But in this creation, Brahmaji has a special position because he wrote Brahma Samhita, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He established in so many slokas the Siddhanta of Lord Chaitanya that's going to come. So, Narada Muni is Acharya because he also again stressed Krishna. Because Vedavyasa has written everything, but Narada Muni came and said, no, all this is not sufficient, this is not good. You have not written the actual message. Then Vedavyasa wrote Bhagavatam. So Narada Muni and Vedavyasa, because he presented Krishna. Vedavyasa compiled the 18 Puranas as part of all the Vedas he composed and everything. That is not the Bhagavatam we are reading. The Bhagavatam that he composed, Bhagavat Purana. He spoke it to his son, Sukadeva Goswami. Then Sukadeva Goswami spoke that. And Suta Goswami heard and Suta Goswami spoke that. And that is not even that's the Bhagavatam we are reading. Right? But that's not even the Bhagavatam. When we say Bhagavatam, we mean Prabhupada's purports. Just imagine Prabhupada's position. I hope you are following the point. This is Bhagavatam when we say that it has come through from Chatusloki Bhagavatam to Prabhupada. That's a standard. That is why in New York when Prabhupada gave the lecture, the first time, nobody was there. Only his 2-3 hippie assistants were there. Nobody had come. All was empty. But Prabhupada gave the lecture, first lecture. Then everybody asked, the hippie disciples were on the way, said, we are very sorry Prabhupada, we distributed the poster but nobody came. Prabhupada said, why do you say nobody came? You all know the story. Prabhupada said, Narada Muni came, Sukadeva Goswami came, Lord Shiva came. Why do you say nobody came? Why they have come? Why should Sukadeva Goswami come to hear Prabhupada speaking Bhagavatam? Because that's the Bhagavatam that's going to be distributed. So when we say Bhagavatam, we mean Prabhupada's purports. Very extraordinary personality, Prabhupada. Very extraordinary. So if you understand the parampara is everybody has come for Krishna's position to establish. Because somebody said, oh, why are these Madhva people are there? They are all Tattvavadis. Jayatirtha, Vyasatirtha. No. Vyasatirtha wrote immortal songs. The song Krishnani Begane Baro is very famous. It's 500 years old. In South India, if you go, it's extremely, it's on the same level, I said, as Jayadeva Goswami's songs. Although it's in a different rasa. Isn't it? Krishna ni begane baro. Beautiful song. Krishna, begane means fast, jaldi se. Begane baro, jaldi se. It's baby, Krishna is calling. Extraordinary song. 500 years later, it's still so nice. So we have to, and I don't claim that I understand why Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur selected the parampara like that. But don't think it is some ordinary parampara, guru disciple. That's not this parampara. It's a parampara in which everybody has set up Lord Chaitanya's message. Prabhupada also is coming in that parampara because his Bhagavatam is the one that's giving for everybody. A very special thing. So Krishna is very difficult to understand. You see? Because we are trying to understand Krishna based on whatever we know in this world. Correct? When we say Krishna is a person, we think is a person like us. We see. That is why Krishna says, what is that? What does he say in Bhagavad-gita? Something about Manushyam Sariram. What is that? What is that verse in Bhagavad-gita? Avajananti mamudha manushim tanum ashritam. Manushim tanum ashritam means I just come like a human being. You see? It is very easy to think he's a human, but actually his form is transcendental. So we try to understand Krishna from our viewpoint and just extrapolate it. In fact, a lot of atheists argue like that. Oh, this idea of God is just human beings, that they try to find the most perfect version of themselves and they imagine this is God. No. You should understand our position by understanding Krishna. That is called bhakti. You see? If I have given this example long time ago. Now I remember suddenly, 40, 45 years ago. Suppose somebody is walking on the street and somebody says, this is, he's Bill Gates, he's a billionaire. Let's say, supposing they say like that. If we didn't know that, we will see, he's just an ordinary person, he's walking on the street like anybody else. Maybe he doesn't even have money, otherwise he'll go by taxi or car. Why is he going by walk? We might think like that, because that's our standard. But if we understand that he is actually a billionaire, then we will say, oh, he is so humble. The whole thinking will be different. So if you are trying to understand Krishna from your viewpoint, all kinds of doubts will be there. Who is Krishna? Does he exist? But if you understand everything from Krishna's position, then all the doubts we have about ourselves will also go away. Yasmin vijñātam sarvamevam vijñātam bhavanti. The meaning of that is that, one meaning is that you should understand everything from Krishna's perspective. That is called Krishna consciousness. So hearing about Krishna is so that we can think ourselves in power. So Krishna, originally, the original person, and Krishna is thinking, Eko Bahunam, Eko Bahusham, right? Eko Bahunam. So, the one has become many. So, he has expanded himself for his pleasure. That was his idea. So, we should understand that everybody also has a desire to marry and to have children, to have family and enjoy, because that tendency is there in Krishna. That is what Prabhupada says all the time. Because the tendency to enjoy is in Krishna, we are also enjoying. We don't understand that until we realize. So, Krishna is the person who thought, how can I enjoy? So, he came up with all these rasas. Of course, it's not in time, that it didn't begin, it's eternal. But we must understand that Krishna, in order to enjoy with all the unlimited souls who are his lovers, he actually, for various kinds of love that various souls have for him, he has come up with various rasas. And it is those rasas we are trying to reproduce in this world. Everybody wants to have a wife, everybody wants to have a girlfriend, everybody wants to have children, everybody wants to have parents. Are you following? So, we are trying to imitate Krishna. So, some souls, without understanding Krishna's position, that is a very congenital disease. So, they are thinking, oh, if Krishna can enjoy like that, why can't I enjoy? That is the fall down. But Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gita, those who do not recognize me, they fall down. So our job is to always understand Krishna. You see? So these people, all the false conditioned souls like me, we have fallen. We think that Krishna is also, that is actually an impersonalism. The impersonalism thinks that all these energies are there, nobody owns them. And if he can actually, he is also like us, and if he can enjoy, I can also enjoy. See? It's a very deep thing we have to understand. This is the core, this is the contamination we have to remove. It's not so easy to remove this. So they are also thinking, we will also be like Krishna. Prabhupada said that when a lusty person, whenever he sees a woman on the street, he thinks, I hope she is not married, because then I can enjoy. Like that, the atheistic class of people, they think we hope there is no God, so we can enjoy. Because if there is a God, then he will be the supreme, I have to serve. So this atheism is a result of that competitive enviousness. Then Krishna says, the Bhagavad-gita, to Arjuna, isn't it? Bhaktosi sakacheti anasuyave. Asuya means envy, anasuya means you are without envy. So, these things are there. Krishna. And to where is Rajamsa is here? I saw him. That thing, www.rasaraj.org, get that thing. By chanting and dancing, we can know Krishna. That's there in the quote. You can put it on the screen. So, this is a deep thing, that the only way you can learn of our problem in the spiritual life is by hearing from the Acharya, or one who is freed from, who has never had envy of Krishna, of course, Srila Prabhupada. When we hear from a person who loves Krishna, we can understand our position. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that the real benediction of meeting a Mahabhagavat is that one understands how fallen I am. We all get a little bit taste of that when we read Prabhupada's books, but that has to be continued, and one has to completely realize that I am in this material world. I may be a very pious person, I may be religious, I may even go to the temples, I may even, do so many activities to worship the Lord, but ultimately everyone in this material world is trying to become like Krishna. But we are the potency, Krishna is the potent. This is the first message one has to fully understand. You see? When this is deeply gone in the heart, when we realize that, then we will voluntarily try to come out of it. At the time when we chant, then the chanting will acquire rasa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So there is a calling, that how that comes, you will realize slowly the chanting becomes good. So, that is the bhava, that the essence has. The bhava begins not by first thinking gopi bhava and all that, but by first thinking that I don't want to be a Bhagavat dveshi. I am coming in front of the Lord, I am chanting and I am dancing, but I don't have love. One must realize that. It's a fact. It's a fact. There's nothing artificial about it. Exactly like a person may say, I'm taking the taxi, I'm going to the hospital, I'm going to meet the doctor, but I'm sick. That's why we are doing all of that. Like that, we have taken up the process in the beginning, you see, Vaidhi Bhakti. Not because we are devotees, but because we are sick. We should recognize that. Does it make sense? You're following? So, that's why even the great devotees are giving example by saying that, oh, I'm greatly fallen. They are not thinking that I am the great devotee, because they are teaching us. Anyways, so Krishna says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam tadaham ashnami bhakti upahritam. I accept it because of bhakti. What is that bhakti? That is, you cannot purchase it with money. You cannot even purchase it with tapasya. You cannot purchase it with worship. Naham vedair na tapasa na danena na chejaya aham evam vido Arjuna. Krishna says you cannot get it by simply doing worship. I explained that. If you are a devotee, you can do worship. By doing worship, you don't become a devotee. Then how do you become a devotee? Bhaktya mam abhijanati. So there are so many aspects to bhakti. Just like a small baby goes to school and the teacher then teaches the A, B, C, D and all that. And after that they learn to write a little bit. And towards the end of the year, the teacher gives everybody, all the children, okay, you write, I love you, mommy. Every child is writing, with its own hand, I love you, mommy, in a piece of paper. And take it home and give it to your mother. And the baby comes home, what did you learn today? The baby gives this. And mother takes it, it's a very crumpled paper, old paper. And in that old paper, the baby has written in very poor handwriting. And it has written, I love you, mummy. But the mummy is completely happy. Because the baby has written that, baby is expressing love. The paper is not important. The pen was not important. The handwriting ability was not important. But that love, that bhava, that's important. The bhava is there in everything. If you are singing, the voice is not important. Your knowledge of grammar and everything is not, singing is not important. The song is also not important. But the bhava, that's what Krishna says. Bhava grahi janardana, raso vaisaha. Bhava grahi, he is taking the bhava. Oh, isn't it? We don't take the bhava. I mean, these are all, I remember giving this example long time ago. So, we may speak philosophy properly, fantastically. We may know Sanskrit slokas. This is not bhakti. Just like somebody may have written in a very fantastic paper, in a beautiful handwriting, with a very top-class pen, I hate you. What is the use? It has no value compared to the child writing in a very old paper with a very bad handwriting. I love you, mommy. So Krishna says, Bhavagrahi, I take that. We are not. Sometimes the child goes away to study, isn't it? Then he comes for summer holidays. And as soon as he comes, the mother makes something that he likes very nicely, special. Something, whatever it is. Then when he sits down, he just eats. It's very nice, like that. That's all right. But some children, they say, oh, mother, you have made this for me. He appreciates the mother, not that product. That is bhava. So it is that by bhava, that actually cultivation of bhava, we become devotees. But that has to come inside. Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lato Bij. Lord Chaitanya says, who is that fortunate person who has got that bhava? That is called Bhakti Lato Bij, the seed of bhakti. Otherwise the book is there, philosophy is there, everybody is reading, everybody is speaking. Fool like me is also speaking. But that bhava must be there. When that bhava is there, everything can be seen in relation to Krishna. Prapanchikataya buddhya harisambandhi vastuna. Harisambandhi. Everything is harisambandhi, but we don't know how. You see? Great topic, Krishna consciousness, the ocean. And only by hearing the genuine message from those who have love of Krishna, who have bhava, you can get it, no other way. It's not just simply sitting and imagining Krishna consciousness. Lord Kapila says you have to hear for a long time. So the beauty of Prabhupada's books is that he is a person with bhava, full bhava. When you read his purports, hey, don't speak. What was I saying last? What was the last sentence? Prabhupada has full of bhava. That is why we are singing every day. Prema Bhakti. No, it's something that, is that Prema Bhakti? It's coming from. From whom is coming? Prema Bhakti is coming from him. Just like from sun, sunlight is coming. It's the source of Prema Bhakti. So Prabhupada said that you can never get mango by any other way than from a mango tree. There is no other way. If you want to make a mango tree, you must get the seed, and the seed is coming from the mango, mango is coming from a mango tree. You cannot make another mango tree except from another mango tree. So no way you can become a devotee except by actually coming in touch with an actual devotee. So why is Prabhupada asking us to distribute the books? So that people can come in touch with him through his books and then his person. This is one of the great lacuna in our preaching, is that we have not preached the simultaneous oneness and difference between Prabhupada, the person, and Prabhupada, the books. We have simply stuck with the books. You see? The books are the means. Otherwise, why should Prabhupada give everybody? Because he can then go and preach to them, not you and me. That he said, what is your 3 hours of preaching will do? Prabhupada said, if somebody simply holds my book, they'll be benefited. How can somebody become benefited by holding his book? Just see. How amazing his books are. Because the books are the source of bhava, and when we actually get that, then we will love that person, then we will serve him, and it's a great science. It's a great science anyway. At that time you will learn to see things as they are. 8:45 ho gaya, 15 minutes. I'm keeping track of the time. You follow what I'm saying? What was the last point I said just now? Last sentence just now I spoke. No, after that I holding, even just preaching, holding the book. Why has he said it? It's incredible. Just like if somebody is taking Krishna's deity, holding in his hand, he'll benefit. He may not know it's Krishna's. And the Bhagavatam means written by Prabhupada. Just like when we say Vedas, that which is compiled by Vedavyas. But in the Rig Veda, in the very second verse, in Rig Veda, the second verse, it says that ancient sages have told like that. That means what? Rig Vedas are supposed to be the beginning of creation. Apaurishaya, everybody says like that. But in the Vedas, it's written that ancient times, the sages knew something. What is that? Because this Vedas is that which is compiled by Vedavyas. He has compiled it. It was there before also. Like that, Bhagavatam, for me, means that which is written by His Divine Grace. I see Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. That is Bhagavatam. That is the beauty of this whole movement. Because we have an Acharya who has written Bhagavatam. That is why he is sitting here in front of the deities. And we are doing worship. Somebody made the point, that's an interesting point, that Mother Tulsi is pure devotee, but still we are doing Tulsi-Puja only after closing the curtain. But Guru Puja is done for Prabhupada in front of the deities. Daily. Extraordinary. So we have to learn to meditate properly on His divine grace. Then you can understand how great Srila Prabhupada is. You don't know. When we say Prabhupada in the movement, it means the books. Somebody told me that, oh, we are told that if you want to associate with Prabhupada, you should read his books. No, that is the beginning. The person. So anyway, I want to make one closing point. When you actually get the bhava by associating with the source of the bhava, then, you see, so let me repeat that point. So when you are chanting Hare Krishna, how nicely you chant, how nicely you sing. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was going to leave this planet by his own sweet will, there were so many devotees, disciples who were beautiful kirtan leaders. But one devotee particularly was extremely bad singer. He had no voice, nothing. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur asked for him, call him and ask him to sing. Everybody was surprised. So, how nicely, it's all nice. Just like if you write a nice letter, it's very good you have a good handwriting, it's very good you have a good paper, it's very good you have a good... But the ultimate thing is the information, that is bhava. So, we need to have bhava. It cannot be imagined. Bhava is not something, oh Krishna, I'm crying. No. That bhava initially is to learn, I am a Bhagavad Dveshi, I am not a Bhagavad Premi. That to learn that is very difficult. It's not revealed to everybody. It's a secret. Rajaguhyam. And when you understand that, then when you chant, the chanting will become better and better and better. It will change. The only person who can help you to chant better is Chaitya Guru, Krishna in the heart. So we are reading Prabhupada's books, we are distributing everything. because we want people to come in touch with him through his books, the person. We heard that in this Bangladesh, the Muslims, they killed somebody that they thought was a Hindu, isn't it? But he happened to be a Muslim lawyer, a good lawyer, young person. They killed him. Why? Because from that, just the body that they saw, they cannot tell whether it is Hindu or Muslim. Everybody has got 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 nose, 2 eyes. They couldn't tell. That's a flaw of bodily thinking. This Krishna is showing. Just see. These fellows, they killed their own Muslim person. Because they are so much in Tamagun. That ability to not distinguish. Why couldn't you find who is a Muslim, who is a Hindu? Why couldn't you find out who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee? You don't know, because we only see the material vision. A thing, a product. In German it's called, in Western philosophy, Ding an sich. The thing in itself. It's another philosophy. They cannot. And that is actually coming from this science that you are learning. In school, everywhere, including Bhaktivedanta Mission School. Prabhupada says a slaughterhouse to teach that knowledge. It is. So, in this science that you learn in school, everybody learns science. If you drop a tennis ball and if you drop an apple, if they have this, they will fall at the same rate. So, in technical terms, in the dynamics, you cannot distinguish between an apple and a planet and a tennis ball. But you can eat an apple, you can play with the tennis ball. So how do you make the distinction between apple and tennis ball? You see? It's a science. One devotee had given an interview to some channel. And he said there, he's a senior devotee, he gave the interview and he said that, scientists are only studying 5 elements. We are going beyond that. We are going to mind, and beyond mind, false ego, beyond false ego, spirit and God. So I told him, no, scientists are not studying the 5 elements. That's the problem. Just because they are studying gross matter doesn't mean they are studying 5 elements. It's another big science. So, what exactly is the difference between tennis ball and apple? Why is something an apple? Why is not? Because of the different ways in which it combines. It's a science, I can explain that. It will take a long time, but I just want to close. That's why Lord Chaitanya tried to argue with Mother Sachi. Isn't it? When he was a little baby, he went on the backyard and all the mud pots were put there that they have used and cooked in the olden days, they throw it. And Lord Chaitanya climbed on top of it and then started breaking the mud pot and eating. Mother Sachi came and said, "What are you doing? Nimai, what are you doing?" He said, "I have cooked nice rabadi, sandesh, rasagulla for you, and we are not eating that, you are coming here and eating this." So Lord Chaitanya lug out some philosophy. He said that it's all 5 elements, kya farak padta hai? This is also made of 5 elements, that's also made of 5 elements. Mother Sachi wouldn't have that nonsense. So what is this Mayavadi philosophy you are speaking? Mother Sachi can tell Lord Chaitanya. Tappad dena kya hota? Although everything is 5 elements, They act differently on you. So if you eat this part, you will get sick, but if you eat the rabadi I have made, you will get healthy. Palena parichyate. Important part. So it is you don't know. You may say, Bhumirapanalavayukhammana but you don't know what are 5 elements. According to science, the apple and this are made of 118 elements, but 5 elements is very different. So, when you get bhava, you will understand the difference between tennis ball and apple by chanting. That's what you will learn first. The last time somebody argued here, what is all this big philosophy you are speaking? Yeah, we are speaking big philosophy so that if you hear carefully, when you chant, you will get bhava. You can chant with bhava. Otherwise, you will not even know why you are chanting. And the first is chanting. By chanting, you will understand what is the difference between apple and first class. This is called Krishna consciousness. Did you know that? Not that you will come to know Krishna. No. If you chant Hare Krishna, you will come to know the difference between apple and tennis ball. Who said this? You are saying suddenly some new philosophy. I have read Prabhupada's books. Prabhupada never said like that. No. Because you cannot see it. Even if you read, you cannot see it. Put it on the screen. Who is going to read it loud? आप करो. आपको आता है पढ़ने के लिए? Clear, cleanly, slowly read.
Krishna
No,
says,
our volume.
Krishna says that out of many millions of people, one may understand him.
So stop, let me repeat that. We are reading from Prabhupada's book. Prabhupada is saying, Krishna says that out of many millions of people, one may understand him. Manishyanam sayasreshu. Next.
But by chanting of this Hare Krishna, as introduced by Lord Chaitanya, chanting and dancing, you can understand Krishna within a very short time.
So he is saying, out of thousands of people, hardly one can understand. But by following this process of chanting and dancing given by Lord Chaitanya, you can easily understand Krishna. That's what we think. And everybody says that. Then Prabhupada says,
knowledge begins not from Krishna, but...
No, knowledge begins not from Krishna when you chant. Then?
But from things which we are accustomed to see every day.
So by chanting and dancing, you can understand Krishna. But knowledge begins not from Krishna. That means, where does your chanting begin? By understanding things that we are accustomed to see every day. Things like apple and tennis ball. It's a great science. If you understand that, you will understand bhava. So it's coming. This knowledge is coming. This is just only the preliminary thing. Now the real class should begin about what it is. उसके लिए भी time हो गया अभी. 9 बज गया. What's the time? 9? Any questions or comments? I'll take one question or two questions. Any good question? Otherwise we can stop. Yes. Reference you mean? Reference. कहाँ है? No. Then Prabhupada goes on to describe the 5 elements. Panchabhuta. It's there. It's in that book, Krishna Consciousness, the Topmost Yoga System. Chapter 5, I think you can read. It's a small book. There Prabhupada has put this. There are no questions, we'll stop here. Yes, sir. Yeah, you had a question. Pucha, pucha. I'll just take one question, that's all.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, as you know, now book marathon has started. So, we go outside for book distribution. So, we set a target. Just like today, we are distributing 20 Bhagavad-gita at least. So, sometimes what happens, the target is not achieved. 5 Bhagavad-gitas were distributed or 6. So, we get disappointed sometimes. Oh, we have not distributed what the target was. So, how I can motivate it that it is Krishna's will that 5 Bhagavad Gitas are distributed or the target is not achieved.
It's not connected to the class. Question should be connected to the class. This is separate. Simple question. It's okay. It's not a very difficult question. Based on the class, there is any question, you ask anybody. Yes. Hanuman, no comments, nothing. Question on the class.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
शिला प्रभुपाद जी ने को किसी ने पूछा आप कौन है, उन्होंने बोला कि मैं कृष्ण भक्त हूँ, और आगे बोला कि मैं कृष्ण भक्त नहीं हूँ, कृष्ण भक्त बनने का प्रयास कर रहा हूँ। तो प्रभुपाद जी ने ऐसे क्यों बोला? वो तो निश्चित रूप से कृष्ण भक्त है।
Understood. हो गया. Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की.